Hi BookTube, it's Stephanie. Today I'm going to share with you my Orillium TBR for the month of August. So Orillium, also known as the magical Readathon, is starting up in August, also known as today. Was I supposed to film this yesterday? Yes. Did I take a nap instead? Also yes. So let's talk about the books that I will read for my character. Now my character is aiming to become either a necromancer or a demonologist. We'll see what happens. If I go for everything, it will be 11 books. Yeah. For necromancer, it's 8, and for demonologist, it's 7. They have 4 books prompts in common, so if nothing else, I will aim for those, and then we'll see what happens. However, the very first prompt that I need to fulfill is for spells and incantations, and that is recolor. So for the grade of O, I need recolor. Use a random color generator. I have not done this yet, so we'll see. It's the top one that I need to click. Okay. I need to find a book with this on the cover. I think I have one. Do I want to read that? Well, apparently I do. I changed my mind. I have the perfect book for it. I did consider this one because I did feel like this had kind of that color scheme to it, except this is brighter, but maybe like the girl in the center would match it. However, and I will put on a picture because I have this as an e-arc, and that is the first binding by our Verdi. I want to read this. It's 800 pages, so I did need to get this on anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one on. Now this has gotten some very mixed reviews, mostly because people accuse the author of going too heavy-handedly, almost exactly as the Name of the Wind does, like in the same order. However, I have not read that, so I will not be able to say. But I have also read reviews who said that, well, yeah, but it's also very clear that that's the author's intention. So we'll see what I feel about this one, and I'm crossing my fingers that I will be able to finish it. The next one is me being cheeky, and that is for spells and incantations qualified grade, incantation echo, and that is find someone else's TBR and copy a book. This is my buddy read with my buddy read partner, and Artemis by Andy Weir. She's reading it. I'm also reading it. Yeah, it counts. But this takes place on the moon. Oh, and when it comes to first binding, I have not looked up anything else what it's about. I don't want to know. So yeah, but Artemis takes place on the moon and it's about the heist. And again, I don't want to know more. The next combined prompt that we have here is conjuration, and that for O, it's the foundation of necromancy. Read a book with necromancy themes. For that, I have Dreadful Company by Vivian Shaw. Yeah, we are following Greta Helsing, who is a doctor for the undead. And in this one, she is in Paris on a conference for zombie reconstructive surgery. Yeah, necromancy team. And it's also a sequel, which is great in general for my TBR. The next prompt that I need to fulfill is for demonology, and that is for O, imp wrangling, and that is read a fantasy. For that I have Pestilence by Laura Talassa, which is an erotica. And yeah, it's about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This first one is about pestilence. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty grim so far. I mean, pestilence. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So those 4 are the 4 books for my, well, the in-common prompts for my 2 chosen occupations. Then if we go to necromancy, we have the first one is animal studies For this I need to read a book with a, well, study of familiars. So I need to read a book that has a animal companion or familiar. For that I'm using this as a stand-in again. Spy Family Volume 4. I have number 5 here because that's when they get a pet. Yeah. And Spy Family is set in a world where spying is very lucrative and it's heavily done both sides. It's very interesting. I have a lot of fun with it. So yes, I'm really looking forward to continuing this series. The next one we have back to Conjuration, and for Necromancer I need to both get a qualified and a distinguished grade on this. For qualified I need to have a bone on the cover or in the title. For this I have Death Note. I have finished volume 5. This is a bind up of volume 5 and 6. I have read volume 5. I have number 6 left. And we have a skull here. We have a skull here. Death Note is a very popular, I would actually say classic manga series. I'm enjoying it a lot. I just never picked this one up, even though I've owned it for 2 years. I'm having fun with it. This is weird, hard to explain, but we are following someone named Light, primarily, who found a Death Note. And a Death Note is a book that if you write a name in it, that person will die within 20 seconds of a heart attack. You can't specify exactly how the person is supposed to die, but that's the gist of it. And it has been planted there by a Shingami, something like that, named Royo, who wants to have fun because he's bored. Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. I don't really know how to else explain it, but it has this skull on the cover, which is a bone. Next we have for distinguished, reread a favorite. I'm going to reread Exit Strategy by Martha Wells, which is the 4th novella in the Murderbot Diary series. I'm so looking forward to this one. It's my first reread of it as well, and I have enjoyed all the rereading I have been doing up to this point. Then we have Restoration. For that, for O, we have a single object as the focus on the cover. I had not picked that. Well, that was awkward. Ooh, I need to pick something. So for, I decided to just bring this one back. So single object focus. I mean, you can go with like the name, but we do have the person here on the cover. So this is Henge by Natalie Sina Walshurst. This is a science fiction superhero book where we are following a person who works as a personal assistant for supervillains. Something like that. She was portrayed or injured when some heroes were involved in something, and yeah, she was injured, so she owned the villains. I don't really know what, I don't want to read the flap, so I'm not going to, but it's about revenge, and I'm hoping that I like it. It does have some brief, and with brief I mean some mixed media in it. I have no idea how much, but there's some text messaging in here, and I'm hoping that I like it. However, this has to go back to the library at the end of this month, so I will definitely maybe replace it with something else if I don't manage to get to it. So if I finish all these prompts, I will become a necromancer, so that's good. Then we have, so if we go by the 4 first books, and then these 3 are the books that I need to read to get to become a demonologist. So the first prompt for that is to get a an O in elemental studies. For that I need to start a book with a drink. Empire of Silence by Christopher Guccio. I should have read this last month. I did not. This is another 600-page book. But this follows a person who was at the wrong place, right time, or right place, wrong time. Wasn't supposed to be him. He is a hero or a monster because a bunch of people died, and yeah, he destroyed a sun apparently. I have no idea what it's about, but I definitely do want to read it. And it's part of a Discord buddy read. Next we have, for Demonology, Qualified, use a random number generator. I did that for my normal TBR. So here we have Planetside by Michael Mamey, who follows a retired colonel, who does a favor for an old army friend. I don't really remember, and I don't want to solve a murder or a crime on a space station, and then there's something with the planet with a rebellion or something. That's all I remember, and I think I honestly feel that that's almost too much, but I am looking forward to this one. Then the last one, for Distinguished. This is so hard because I do not unhaul books just because I was an idiot. Well, sometimes maybe, but for Distinguished is a book that's at risk of being unhauled. I'm gonna change that to should not have been purchased, because I bought it before reading the first book and I already were like, will I like it? I have no idea. And it's this one. This is Siege and Storm, the Swedish translation by Lee Bardugo. I should not have bought this. I bought the entire trilogy at once, so I've had this for a while. But the first book went by pretty quickly, so I'm crossing my fingers that so will this one. I should not have purchased this, but I do have it. I will definitely reserve the right to change this to one of my second chance book or books that I have there. So yeah, but this is what I put on, and I feel like the Shadow and Bone trilogy don't really need a synopsis, but we are following a girl who basically turns out that she has some powers when she didn't realize that she had. And it's hard to explain, especially since I wasn't the biggest fan of the first book. But I did enjoy at least Six of Crows. I did like Six of Crows. I did not particularly enjoy the second one that I blanking what it was called, but I can at least try. So that was all the books that I will try to read in August for this readathon. What's your calling for the Orillium Readathon? Are you participating? Do you want to participate? Please tell me down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.